Let's look at some examples of multiplying polynomials. So first, let's look at this. X plus 3 times x squared minus 5x plus 4. So this would be multiplying a binomial, x plus 3, times a trinomial, x squared minus 5x plus 4. And there's two ways we can do this. So one way we can do it is to use the distributive law. So I'm going to distribute the x across each term in the trinomial, and then I'm going to distribute the 3 across each term in the trinomial. So that'll look something like this. I have the x times the x squared. Then I have the x times the negative 5x. And then I have the x times the 4. And that takes care of distributing the x across these three terms. Now how about the 3? So then I would have the 3 times x squared, and I would have the 3 times the negative 5x, and then I would have the 3 times the 4. Okay, so now I can just simplify each of these terms. So I would have x cubed for that one. Then I would have minus 5x squared here, plus 4x, plus 3x squared, minus 15x, plus 12. 4 times 3 is 12. And now I look for things that I can combine. So there's only one x cubed term, so that'll be x cubed. There are two, so I'll put a little check here. There's two terms that have an x squared. We have a minus 5x squared and a plus 3x squared. So that leaves a minus 2x squared. There's a 4x term and a minus 15x, so that'll be a negative 11x. And then finally, I have the 12. So my final answer is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 11x plus 12. Now let's look at a different way to do this. So for the second method, I'm going to put the answer that we had from the first method up here in the corner, just so we can see what it is. And now I'm going to use the grid method to try and multiply this out. So the way that works is you write one of the polynomials along the top. So I'll do that here, x squared minus 5x plus 4, and we make a little grid. And if you want to, you can try and make the areas of the boxes appropriate for the numbers on the top and on the sides. But when you get used to doing these, you don't really need to worry too much about that. The grid is just a way to help you organize all of the different terms. Okay, so here's my grid, and then on this side I have the x and the plus 3. And now we just multiply. So x and x squared would give me x cubed in this box. This box would be the 3 and the x squared. And here I have a minus 5x and an x, that's a negative 5x squared. Here I have a 4 and an x, that's 4x. Then I have a negative 5x and a 3, that's negative 15x. And here I have a 12. Okay, now I can add them up. So I have the x cubed. Then I have two x squared terms, negative 5x squared and 3x squared. That leaves negative 2x squared. Then I have two x terms, negative 15x and 4x. That makes negative 11x. And lastly, I have the 12. And you can see you do indeed get the same thing that we had before. Let's look at another example. How about now we have two trinomials, x squared minus 2x minus 1 and 2x squared plus 6x minus 5. So again, I'm going to do this two different ways. So first, let's distribute. So I'll start with the x squared. So I have x squared times 2x squared. And then I have x squared times 6x. And then I have x squared times negative 5. Next, I have a negative 2x here. So I have negative 2x times 2x squared. Then I have negative 2x times 6x. And then I have negative 2x times the negative 5 here. And finally, I have a negative 1. So I have negative 1 times 2x squared. So I guess I'll write it like this, negative 1 times 2x squared. And then I have negative 1 times 6x. And then I have negative 1 times a negative 5. I can barely fit it in here. Negative 1 and negative 5. Okay. And now I can just go through and simplify all the terms. So let's start with this one here. This will give me 2x to the fourth. And after I simplify it, I'll put a little check underneath just so I remember that I did that one. This is 6x cubed. Okay. This one is negative 5x squared. All right, this one is negative 4x to the third. This one is negative 12x squared. And then this one is 10x. This one is negative 2x squared. And this one is negative 6x. And then the last one will be positive 5. Okay, that's a lot. Now let's combine them. So again, I recommend putting little check marks under something after you've already taken care of it. So I have a 2x to the fourth. That doesn't combine with anything else, so that'll just stay there. Now let's look at all the x cubes. I have a 6x cubed and negative 4x cubed. So 6 minus 4, that'll be 2. So I have a 2x cubed. The x squareds, I have minus 5, minus 12, and minus 2x squared. So negative 12 and negative 2 is negative 14. Negative 14 and negative 5 will be negative 19. So I have negative 19x squared. Then I have a 10x minus a 6x. That'll give me a 4x. And I have a 5 at the end here. So my final answer is 2x to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus 19x squared plus 4x plus 5. Now let's look at another way to do it. So again, I'll put the answer up here in the corner. And this time I'm going to use the grid method. So for the grid method, we start by making a grid. In this case, it's going to be a 3 by 3 grid because we have two trinomials. So the top, I'll put x squared minus 2x minus 1. And then on the side, I'll put 2x squared plus 6x minus 5. And so I have to make a 3 by 3 grid. And let's see, we need a row here, and I need a row here. And then I need to make 3 columns. Okay. All right. X squared times 2x squared, that's 2x to the fourth. Negative 2x times 2x squared, that's negative 4x to the third. And then negative 1 times 2x squared is negative 2x squared. 6x times x, that's 6x cubed. This will be negative 12x squared, and this will be negative 6x. And then down here, I have negative 5x squared, 10x, and positive 5. All right, and then just go through and add everything up. So I have a 2x to the fourth. I have a 6x cubed and a negative 4x cubed. That makes positive 2x cubed. Then I have x squareds along the diagonal here. So I have negative 5x squared, negative 12x squared, and negative 2x squared. That's negative 19x squared when I put them all together. 10x minus 6x, that's 4x. And lastly, I have a 5. And you see, we get the same thing that we had before. Let's look at one more example. 1/2 a squared b minus 3/4 ab squared plus b squared is going to be multiplied by 2/3 a squared b squared minus 2ab plus 2/5 a squared. All right, this one has a lot going on. We got a's, we got b's, we got fractions, but don't be scared. Well, maybe you should be a little bit scared. I mean, this is going to be kind of a mess, but if we just go very carefully through it, I'm going to do it 2 different ways, 2 methods. We should be able to figure it out. So first, I'm going to use the method where I distribute. So I'm going to focus on this term here. This is that 1/2 a squared b. So I have 1/2 a squared b times, and then I'm going to look at each term in the trinomial here. So first I have 2/3 a squared b squared. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to write out the second trinomial. I'm not going to distribute each individual term. So then I just have minus 2ab plus 2/5 a squared. And I'm just doing this so that maybe I can try and practice not going through all of the steps, which is something, if you work on these enough, it's kind of good to get some shortcuts here so it doesn't take so long. Next I have this term. So this is negative 3/4 ab squared. And then again, this is going to multiply the whole second trinomial here. 2/3 a squared b squared minus 2ab plus 2/5 a squared. All right, and then the last one I have is the b squared. And again, multiplied by the whole second trinomial. 2/3 a squared b squared minus 2ab plus 2/5 a squared. All right. Okay, so let's go through this now. So I have these two things multiplied together. Well, 1/2 times 2/3. The 2's are going to cancel here. Remember, we're multiplying fractions. So that's going to leave a 1/3. So this is going to be 1/3. And then I have an a squared and an a squared. That'll be a to the 4th. And then I have a b and a b squared. That'll be b cubed. And so I'm done with that. Now I'm going to do 1/2 a squared b times this. Well, the 2's are going to cancel. So it's just going to be -1. And then I have an a squared and an a. That's an a cubed. And I have a b and a b. That's a b squared. Done with that. Now I have this one. The 2's again are going to cancel. And I'm going to have plus 1/5. And then I have an a squared and an a squared. That's a to the 4th. And then I have a b and nothing else. So just a b. Done with that. Let's look at this one. So the 2 and the 4 are going to cancel. I'm going to get a 1 and a 2 here. And the 3's are going to cancel. So I'm just going to get a 2 in the bottom here. So it's going to be minus. And I'm going to have a 1/2. And then I have an a and an a. So that's going to be an a cubed. A and an a squared is an a cubed. A b squared and a b squared, that's a b to the 4th. Done with that. Okay, this next one, we have a negative here and a negative here. So whatever this is, it's going to be positive. And then I have a 3/4 and a 2. Well, the 2 and the 4 will cancel and leave a 1 and a 2. So this will be 3/2. And then I have an a squared for the 2 a's and a b cubed for the b squared and the b. Done with that. Now we'll look at this one again. A 2 and a 4 are going to cancel. So this will be a 1 and that'll be a 2 down here. And 2 times 5 is 10 and I'll have a 3 up top. So this will be minus 3/10, and then I'm going to have an a cubed b squared. Done with that. Now I have this one. So this is going to be a 2/3. And then I have an a squared, and it's going to be a b to the 4th. A squared b to the 4th. Done with that. This one is going to be negative 2ab to the 3rd. Done with that. And finally, the last one here is going to be 2/5 a squared b squared. Done with that. Okay, now I got to look for like terms, and wow, what a mess. Well, let's see. Go through one by one. A to the 4th, b to the 3rd. Do you see that anywhere else? A to the 4th, b to the 3rd, nowhere else. So I'm done with that one. That'll be 1/3 a to the 4th, b to the 3rd. Next I have a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd. A to the 3rd, b up right here. So I have that one, and that's it. So this is going to be a -1 and a -3/10. Let's do that here. So I have a -1 minus 3/10. Well, that's the same thing as -10/10 minus 3/10. And that's the same thing as -13/10. So this is going to be -13/10. And then I have, this was an a cubed b squared. Okay, next I have this, a to the 4th times b. I don't see that anywhere else, so I can just rewrite that one. That's 1/5 a to the 4th times b. Next I have a to the 3rd, b to the 4th. Don't see that anywhere else, so that'll be -1/2 a to the 3rd, b to the 4th. Okay, 3/2 a squared b cubed. Are there any other a squared b cubed terms? Nope. So this is plus 3/2 a squared b cubed. How about a squared b to the 4th? Nope. So this will be plus 2/3 a squared b to the 4th. And then I look at these last two terms, they're not going to be able to be combined. So let's just tack those on. So I have 2ab cubed and then plus 2/5 a squared b squared. And that is my final answer. Now let's try it using the other method with the grid. So first thing I'm going to do is write down the answer that we had before. This is what we had when we did it the first way. And now I'm going to use the grid and see if I get the same thing. So again, I'm going to need a 3x3 grid. So let's try and do that here. So I have a 3 by 3 grid where I have 1/2 a squared b minus 3/4 ab squared plus b squared. That'll be the one on top. And then on the side, I'll have 2/3 a squared b squared. I'll have minus 2ab, and I'll have 2/5 a squared. And here's my grid. So this is a 3 by 3 grid, and I have to fill in the entries and then add them all up, and should get the same thing if everything works out correctly. Okay, here's my beautiful grid. All right, first one is this one right here. I have 1/2 times 2/3, that's going to be 1/3, and then I'm going to have an a to the 4th b cubed. This one, well, it's going to be negative, and the 3's are going to cancel, the 2 and the 4 are going to cancel, it's going to be 1/2, and it's going to be a cubed b to the 4th. This one is going to be 2/3 a squared and then b to the 4th, okay. This one down here, the 2 and the 1/2 are going to cancel. It's going to be negative. It's going to be negative a cubed b squared. This one's going to be positive. The 2 and the 4 are going to cancel and leave a 1 and the 2 here. So this is going to be negative, or positive, sorry, 3/2. And that'll be a squared b cubed. This one here is going to be negative 2a and then b cubed. This one down here, the 2's will cancel, I will get 1/5. So this will be 1/5 a to the 4th times b. This one's going to be negative, and it's going to be, let's see, the 2 and the 4 will leave a 1 and a 2, so this will be 3/10. And this will be a cubed b squared. And then lastly, right here, I'm going to have 2/5 a squared b squared. Okay. So if you recall before, there were only 2 terms that combined. And if we look on here, it looks like it's going to be this term right here and this term right here. Those are the only ones that are a cubed b squared. Everything else is the same as before. So let's see if we can match them up. So we have a 1/3 a to the 4th b cubed. That's this one right here. 1/3 a to the 4th b cubed. Got that one. Done. Yeah, put a little x in the corner when we finish it. Next I have this one. This was the one we combined. That was these 2. And if you remember, -1 and -3/10 make -13/10. So that's going to be -13/10 a cubed b squared, and that takes care of those 2. How about the a to the 4th b term? That is this one right here. 1/5 a to the 4th times b, and that takes care of that. Next we have this one, -1/2 a cubed b to the 4th. That's right here. So that'll be -1/2 a cubed b to the 4th. Then we had this one, 3/2 a squared b cubed. That guy's right here. So that'll be plus 3/2 a squared b cubed. Then we have 2/3 a squared b to the 4th. That's right here. 2/3 a squared b to the 4th. Then we have this one, minus 2ab cubed. That's right there. And then last, we have the 2/5 a squared b squared. That's right there. And you can see that we do indeed get the same exact thing.